Hello and welcome to Vault Holocron. I'm Jonathan and today we will be discussing the Royal Guards. The Royal Guards were a unit of elite soldiers with the purpose of protecting Palpatine, although other higher-ups did use some Royal Guards where Palpatine was fine with it. They were fully covered in crimson red robes and had helmets which covered their faces. They wielded electrostaffs and force pikes, but also had vibro knives and heavy blaster pistols under their robes. They were trained to be completely loyal to Palpatine, even if it meant killing other Royal Guards, and there were very strict requirements to being a Royal Guard, with the main one being that only the most skilled of the military could join the ranks. Other requirements were size, strength, intelligence and loyalty. We didn't really get to see them in action in the movies, but they were very powerful and have shown up in multiple Star Wars media, being very iconic. The Royal Guards were first introduced before the Clone Wars by Sheev Palpatine to act as personal bodyguards. Both them and the Senate Guards and Commandos were used, but by the end of the Clone Wars, Palpatine had replaced the Senate Guards in favour of the Royal Guards and Shock Troopers. One of the reasons he was able to do this was because of Captain Faro Argius, a clone commander that betrayed the Republic, working with Ventress to help free Gunray from Republic forces. Palpatine also sent out some of the Royal Guards out of uniform to scout out locations which he would be visiting, to check the safety and look for escape routes. And he also tasked them with investigating threats, which they had to do thoroughly, even down to analysing graffiti. After the Clone Wars had ended and Palpatine had now formed the Galactic Empire, which he was the leader of, he continued to use his Royal Guards, despite no longer being at war. In the early days of the Empire, the Royal Guards were mainly localised to Coruscant, while Palpatine used Shock Troopers off-world, but over time this changed, with Palpatine becoming less public and moving to only using the Royal Guards as his personal bodyguards. Palpatine also had Royal Guards stationed at the Inquisitorius headquarters, where he trained up the Jedi hunting Inquisitors. In 14 BBY, a group of Royal Guards joined Vader and Palpatine on a mission to Ryloth, but most of them died in a crash landing. One of the two Royal Guard survivors was a clone trooper, who had served the Republic as a captain, which is an interesting insight into the Royal Guards, telling us that Palpatine still trusted some clones enough to have them protect him. This guard did die though, before escaping the planet. Later in the Empire's reign, Palpatine sent 3 Royal Guards to Lothal during the liberation of Lothal, and these had a different look to normal Royal Guards, wearing lighter armour, more fit for battle. These guards fought Ezra Bridger after Palpatine's plans to use him to gain access to the world between worlds failed, but were crushed by rocks from the Lothal Temple. Although it was the duty of the Royal Guards to protect Palpatine, he did have some stationed at Fortress Vader on Mustafar, which guarded Vader while he was in his Bacta tank. In the Galactic Civil War, Royal Guards were also used in combat as assassins, not limited to protection. After the Battle of Yavin, Palpatine had 2 Royal Guards on his luxury yacht, Imperialis, which guarded the central chamber that held Sith artifacts, including Momin's mask. I'd like to quickly note that if you wish to know more about Momin's mask, it was mentioned further in our Vader's attempts to resurrect Padme video, so you can check that out later if you wish. Anyway, back to Royal Guards. And now I'm going to mention a different variant of Royal Guards, which served under Commander Carbin. They looked different to normal Royal Guards, and had armour more fitted for battle in the front lines. There's not really much on these Royal Guards, so I'm going to head back onto normal Royal Guards. There are actually some Royal Guards that accompanied Palpatine to the second Death Star, but he had dismissed them before meeting Luke, therefore not having anyone there to stop Vader from killing him. After Palpatine's death, there were actually some Royal Guards still in use, although not being able to protect Palpatine anymore. Some of these royal guards were stationed at the Palpatine archives in the Coruscant system. In the New Republic era, the royal guard still hadn't disappeared, now serving high-level Imperial officers like General Jailia Shale and Grand Admiral Ray Sloan. Shale could be seen with 2 royal guards when attending the emergency summit on Akiva, and the Grand Admiral could be seen with 2 royal guards when attending a peace meeting at the New Republic capital of Chandrila. This peace meeting, to Sloan's surprise, was a ruse for the Empire to attack Chandrila, and in the attack the royal guards killed several New Republic Senate guards. After the attack of Chandrila, a royal guard served as a soldier in the Battle of Jakku. This was one of the last royal guards, although the new praetorian guards were made for the First Order / Final Order, sort of serving the same purpose. I'm going to cover the praetorian guards now, as although they were not royal guards, they were inspired by the royal guards, and served the same purpose. The praetorian guards were a group of 8 elite warriors, tasked with the role of protecting Supreme Leader Snoke. They wore armor which could deflect blaster bolts, and even protect from less direct lightsaber strikes. But this was not due to the material of the armor, but actually the armor's intense local magnetic field. This magnetic field was painful for the guards to wear, a big drawback to the blaster protection, and a testament to the dedication and focus of the Praetorian Guards. The Praetorian Guards used 4 weapons: Vibrovolges, Electrobacentos, Bellari Electro Chain Whips, and heavy double-bladed Vibro Airburr blades, with 2 of the 8 guards using each weapon. The Praetorian Guard served under supremacy by Supreme Leader Snoke, and in their time in the First Order, they fought Rey and Kylo, after Kylo had killed Snoke, but all died in the battle. One thing which I think is interesting to mention is that Palpatine seemed to have learnt from his mistakes in Return of the Jedi, as when Snoke met Rey, he hadn't dismissed his guards. Also, the Praetorian Guards were not a part of the Final Order, with the Sovereign Protector Sith Troopers being the Royal Guard-like troops. The Sovereign Protector Sith Troopers haven't had as big of a role as the Royal Guards and Praetorian Guards, but they fought in the Battle of Exegol. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this dive into the Royal Guards and similar troops, and we hope to see you later at Volt Holocron.